us by Zoom. Can't see him yet.
He's got his video off, but he should be able to hear you.
Oh, okay. Brent, would you like to present your submission? Have you got your sound off? Are you muted?
Thank you. We'll try that again, shall we?
Perfect. Can hear you loud and clear.
Good. I just had a couple of things I was wanting to speak to, both of them related to Three Waters. The first one was about the investing and upgrading in and protecting the city's water networks, specifically as it relates to Akaroa, and just repointing out the fact that Akaroa is now into something like its 5th month of water restrictions, and clearly the town is just becoming more and more short of water. Three Waters spending accounts for about 22% of council spend, and yet Akaroa still doesn't seem to have a wastewater and water network that deliver the minimum level of service of reliable supply and robust waste treatment. People who are building new houses now have to put in tanks costing thousands of dollars. People with existing properties can't water their vegetable gardens over summer unless they retrofit large water tanks. And that's despite the fact that they're paying for a water supply, a council-provided water supply. In the LTP, there's 70 million going on Three Waters in this area, which is the Akaroa wastewater treatment plant and disposal scheme. And this is going to be funded partly by rates and partly by a massive hike in the development contribution. And it just seems to me, I just can't understand why it's not unreasonable to expect that if that much money is being spent on the Three Waters in Akaroa, that it doesn't fix the most serious issue, which is the scarcity of water. So I'm just asking the council again, as they work through how they spend that money, that they aggressively pursue recycling water as much as they possibly can. We've heard quite a bit about how hard this is, but there's going to come a point when there's no longer an option, and it would be a shame to go ahead with the scheme as is now, not put that in place, spend a lot of ratepayer money disposing of the treated wastewater elsewhere, and then be limited in the future to much more expensive and environmentally damaging sources of water, such as trucking, piping, or desalinating. And the cost of that environmental and money would just dwarf the benefit received from, quote, investing, unquote, in the 40 hectares of new native bush that the scheme is going to produce. So if the council wants to invest in emission sequestration, and I totally applaud them for that, then there are just far more effective ways to do it. The second thing relating to water was the proposed change to the rates and new targeted rates around the drainage rate. And I didn't feel I could support the land drainage rate being applied across the remote rural properties. I sort of get the reasoning that the council is saying that drainage benefits everyone, but that can be applied to pretty much everything in the urban area. I mean, waste management means the city's kept clean, so you could argue everybody should pay the same for that. And once you start doing that, I don't know where that argument ends. Should all urban services be paid for by rural ratepayers because they go to the city sometimes? And given that many people visit Christchurch from other places, should central government pick up the tab instead? Charging rural ratepayers for urban services is ignoring the fact that the urban dwellers make a lot greater use of the city than the rural, and it therefore just seems reasonable that their proportion of its costs should be greater. Otherwise, if we turn that around again, rural ratepayers perhaps should start charging city people for the fact that the rural property owners maintain the biodiversity and amenity that everyone enjoys and at their own cost. Thank you.
Thank you very much. It's a very spot on time-wise submission. So thank you. I will mention to you that we did raise specifically with the select committee hearing submissions on the water supply bill water services bill, that we wanted the purple pipe process to be legally confirmed for use other than council property. So we're on the same track as you in relation to the need to recycle water. It makes absolute sense to do so, and it would also take pressure off the wastewater when we were able to separate the two. So thank you very much, and thank you very much for making your time available for making a submission.
Thank you.
Thank you.